Yo, welcome to Sam Show, where the goal of this show is to educate and provide value where we can. Today, our guest is someone so passionate about working with youth. She's actually worked with so many young guys, helping them develop their relationship and improve their relationship between themselves and other people. She's a counselor. She's someone who she's done life skills. She does life skills in many schools. She's worked with disabled kids. She's helped many people grow themselves and become a better version of themselves. And she's here with us today. So today we're going to talk about how you can actually be productive and utilize this quarantine to the best of your ability, and I can work on our mental health and get the best out of ourselves at this time. So you guys come with me. My name is Samim Bogo, and I'm committed to making a difference in this world by improving my life and others' lives. Welcome to Sam Show. Welcome to Sam Show, where the goal of this show is to educate and provide value where we can. Today my guest is someone who is so passionate with the youth. She studied medicine, but she actually decided to channel more on working with the youth. She's done counseling, she's done life skills, and her and her organization are so passionate with helping the youth in relationship skills between themselves and others. So today I'm joined with her. So Dr. Mary, welcome to Sam Show.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you for having us here.
Okay. So what makes you so passionate about dealing with the youth?
That's a very long story. I got a child with special needs. Our firstborn daughter had special needs. And I worked very hard to understand how to support children with disabilities. But as I was running those programs, I began to realize that the bigger challenge are relationships, still are even now. So I began getting an interest in understanding guidance and counseling, how to manage relationships, and eventually I ended up working with life skills. But then I began to realize that the biggest challenge youth have is the whole question of role models and mentorship and learning from those who are older than them. And that's why I ended up getting into training and supporting youth and children on how to manage their relationships with themselves and with others.
I'm sure you know that lifestyle has changed for many. Things have become different and all. Many young guys are becoming depressed right now. It has become like huge numbers. Like right now, I'm sure it's not 1 to 4 people who are depressed. I'm sure it's like 1 to 2 young guys who are depressed. So what do you think are the causes of depression among young guys?
I would say it's mainly uncertainty, that you're just not sure about the future. And as it is already where the youth are, even minus Corona, most youth are at a phase where they're wondering, what shall I become? Who shall I marry? What work will I do? Will I get a job? Will I manage college? So already the youth, minus Corona, were already at a phase where they're wondering, what does tomorrow hold for me? Now, Corona coming in made it worse, because now even the future you thought was making sense is no longer there. So that, I believe, that's the main reason that they're not certain about tomorrow, and their tomorrow has been threatened. It's not something that they're sure of. So I think that I would say that's the main reason. And then because you're helpless, you're feeling, what can I do? So then you end up into issues of hopelessness and just feeling it can't be helped. If bigger people than me, richer people than me, people already working are not coping, how will I cope? So I think that's mainly it. Yeah.
So you've told us, of course, we've seen young guys, we've seen that who are working can't cope. That's what I've gotten from you, like they can't cope. So what do you think are ways that young guys can divert their thoughts from these negative thoughts or these depressive thoughts?
Yeah. I think Good question, Sami. I would go a bit further back and also think just what I shared, that feeling of hopelessness, that feeling of I can't cope, or the world around me is not coping, is because I'm listening to it all the time on TV. I'm hearing it on social media. I'm hearing it with my friends. I'm hearing there's some people who are in quarantine. I'm hearing there's some people who are dying. And I'm hearing that this thing is spreading very fast. And some counties have been locked up. And maybe I'm not even meeting some of my relatives or even family members. So there's a lot that we are hearing that is negative, 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 negative. And so one of the best ways to begin to deal with this uncertainty, this fear, is to just watch what is going on in your mind. What are you allowing into your mind? What are you allowing into your thoughts? And once that thought comes, what do you do with it? Yeah, because they say a bird can pass over your head. So a thought can pass over your mind, but they say don't allow the bird to nest on your head. So even you, that thought can pass, but what are you going to do with that thought? So you look for ways of managing your thoughts, managing your feelings, managing your time. What are you doing with yourself? So if it is issues of managing your thoughts, you want to think, what am I allowing into my mind? And so a good thing that you can do is just watch and listen to what are you thinking. What is that repetitive thought that keeps coming in your mind that is negative? And see what can you replace it with, so that every time you catch yourself thinking, oh, I can't make it. So what can you think that is contrary, opposite of that? I have one verse that I really like sharing. When I feel fearful, I quickly tell myself, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, a spirit of love, and a spirit of a sound mind. So I begin to tell myself that no, this is not what God wants me to be thinking. This is not how God wants me to be thinking. So I think, okay, God, you've given me a spirit of power. So, Lord, help me. How do I get to take charge of this situation that I am in? How do I show love to myself and others around me? And you've given me a sound mind, Lord. I pray, help me to actualize this, to have this sound mind. Yeah. So you're beginning to contradict those thoughts. You could also find something positive to meditate on, or a slogan. A very good one is, I can do it, I can get out. So every time you find yourself thinking, I can't, then you say, I can move forward. We talked about time, managing time. Do you have a program? Do you have a timetable? What do you do from when you wake up to when you go to sleep? Such that you don't catch yourself being dictated to by the TV, or that your mommy wakes up and says, today you do 1, 2, 3. No, you yourself, before you wake up, what have you planned for your day? Do you have a program? Do you say, when I wake up, what am I going to do? After breakfast, what am I doing? After lunch? And you can fill your day with activities. Some may not bring you money like you want, but they are keeping you busy, and they are exercising you. They are keeping you from just sitting idle. Yeah. So a human being has 5 main dimensions. You have a physical being, you have a mind, you have relationships, you have emotions, you have what was that? You have an intellect. So amongst all those dimensions, what can you plan in your day to develop those dimensions? So your mind, are you reading? Are you growing your mind? What are you doing to develop your mind? You could do either an online course, you could read a book, you could read a training material, maybe learn how to farm, or one of those how do it yourself books. That's your mind. Your emotions, how are you taking care of your emotions? How are you managing your emotions? So you could say that maybe I have an issue with managing anger. So actively look up, how do I manage anger? What is anger? How do you deal with anger? And begin to practice the habit of dealing with anger. If it is your relationships, what relationships are not working? What can you do yourself proactively about your relationships? Instead of sitting there and saying, oh, mommy does not like me, oh, today I was not given money. But think proactively.
Yeah.
How do I improve my relationships? If it is your, what have I left out? Your physical being, exercise. Have an exercise program. That is your filling your day. Yeah, physical exercise could go farming if you're lucky, walking if you're even luckier, run up and down the stairs, I don't know, wash the house, cook, do something physical that will make you break into a sweat. Yeah, and so on. So look at your various areas and have a program that you're growing so that you begin to feel you're taking charge of the situation. You're not waiting for things to happen to you. You're not reacting.
Yeah.
Now you're more proactive. Yeah.